the affair almost got caught. Every secret relationship survives on one thing: timing. The right excuse, the right alibi, the right lie. According to one woman, she thought she and her married boyfriend had everything figured out. The hotel trip was over. Nobody had been caught, and despite some doubts, their relationship seemed stronger than ever. Then his wife started asking questions. At first, it seemed harmless. A strange comment here, a suspicious look there, nothing major, nothing dangerous. Until one night, the woman received an invitation she'd been dreaming about for months, a romantic weekend alone with him. No wife, no sneaking around, no interruptions, just the two of them. What she didn't know was that his wife had already started putting the pieces together, and according to the woman, the moment she saw headlights pull into the driveway, she knew everything was about to fall apart. According to the woman, things felt different after the hotel trip. Not worse, not better, different. The trip had left her with questions she couldn't stop asking herself. But despite that, the relationship continued. The messages continued, the phone calls continued, the promises continued. According to her, he kept reassuring her, telling her everything would work out, telling her he loved her, telling her she was important, and for a while she believed him. Then something changed. The messages slowed down. At first, she ignored it. People get busy, life happens, but the pattern continued. Hours without replies, missed messages, missed calls, and according to the woman, her anxiety exploded. She wanted answers, needed answers. Eventually, she got one. His wife was suspicious, very suspicious. According to him, she had started asking questions, watching him more closely, checking things, not trusting him the way she used to. The woman hated hearing that, because for the first time, the secret relationship felt fragile, dangerous, real. And yet somehow, they kept going. Weeks later, the husband reached out with exciting news. His wife would be away, visiting family. Gone for the weekend. According to him, they would finally have time together. Real time. Not stolen moments. Not secret hotel visits. A proper weekend. The woman was thrilled. She started planning immediately. Bought new clothes. Picked out outfits, bought food he liked, prepared for what she thought would be their perfect weekend. According to her, she counted down the days. Then the weekend arrived. Everything seemed perfect. The house was empty. The wife was gone. And for the first time in a long time, she felt hopeful. The evening started exactly how she imagined. Relaxed, comfortable, normal. For a few hours, it felt like they were an ordinary couple. No secrets, no lies, no hiding. Then everything changed. Fast, very fast. According to the woman, they heard a car. At first, nobody reacted. Cars drove past all the time. Then they saw headlights turning into the driveway. Silence. Complete silence. By the way, if you enjoy relationship drama, cheating stories, and unbelievable real-life train wrecks, make sure to subscribe, because this was the exact moment their secrets started collapsing. According to the woman, the color drained from his face. Immediately, he rushed to the window, looked outside, then turned back toward her. Panic. Pure panic. His wife wasn't supposed to be home. Not for another day, not for another night. Yet somehow, she was pulling into the driveway. The husband started moving fast, very fast. According to the woman, he began grabbing her belongings, telling her to move, now, immediately. No time to think, no time to argue, no time to plan, just run. The woman described the next few minutes as complete chaos. Shoes, bags, phones, keys. Nobody knew where anything was. Outside, the car door slammed, then another, then footsteps. getting closer, much closer. And according to the woman, that was the moment she genuinely thought they were caught. Not almost caught. Caught. The husband pushed her toward the back door and told her to go, right now, before it was too late. So she ran. Straight out the back, terrified, humiliated. And according to her, that was the moment she realized this relationship wasn't romantic anymore. It was survival. The drive home felt endless. According to the woman, she couldn't stop shaking. Her hands wouldn't stay still. Her mind kept replaying the last few minutes. The headlights, the panic, the back door, the desperate rush to escape, everything. At first, she expected a phone call, an explanation, some kind of update. Anything, but nothing came. 1 hour passed, then 2, then the entire night. Silence. Complete silence. According to her, that silence felt worse than getting caught, because her imagination immediately went to work. Had his wife found evidence? Had she found her belongings? Had she discovered messages, photos, receipts, something? The possibilities felt endless, and none of them were good. The next day, she finally got a message. Short. Very short. According to him, everything was fine. The wife hadn't seen her. At least not directly. But something was wrong, very wrong. The wife had become suspicious, more suspicious than ever before. Apparently, she wasn't supposed to come home early. Not originally. Something had made her change her mind. Something had convinced her to return. And according to the husband, she was now paying close attention, closer than she ever had before. The woman tried to stay positive, tried to believe everything would calm down, tried to convince herself the danger had passed, but deep down, she knew better. Because once suspicion starts, it rarely disappears. The messages became less frequent, the calls became shorter, days started passing between visits, and according to the woman, that terrified her. Not because she missed the relationship, because she could feel control slipping away. For the first time, she wasn't the priority. The wife was, the marriage was, the crisis was, and she hated it. Weeks passed. The husband continued making promises, saying things would get better, saying he loved her, saying he just needed time. But according to the woman, something felt different. The words were still there, the effort wasn't, and that difference became impossible to ignore. Every conversation felt rushed. Every meeting felt uncertain. Every plan felt temporary. For months, their relationship had existed inside a fantasy where everything would somehow work out, a fantasy where nobody got hurt, a fantasy where the future belonged to them. The near discovery shattered that fantasy. Not completely, but enough to expose the cracks. Enough to reveal the risks. Enough to make everything feel fragile. According to the woman, she became obsessed with waiting. Waiting for texts. Waiting for calls. Waiting for reassurance. Waiting for certainty. And the more she waited, the more anxious she became. Every delayed message felt meaningful. Every missed call felt terrifying. Every silence felt like the beginning of the end. The worst part wasn't the fear of being caught. It was the fear of being abandoned. Because for the first time, she realized something important. If everything exploded tomorrow, he still had a wife, a home, a family, a life. She didn't. And that realization followed her everywhere. It followed her to work. It followed her home. It followed her into every conversation. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't shake it. Because deep down, she knew something had changed forever. The secret had survived. Barely. But surviving wasn't the same thing as being safe. And according to the woman, neither of them felt safe anymore. Looking back, the most important thing that happened that night wasn't the escape. It wasn't the panic. It wasn't even the wife pulling into the driveway. It was what happened afterward, because once the fear arrived, it never really left. Every relationship depends on trust, even secret relationships. And after that night, trust started being replaced by uncertainty. Questions started replacing confidence. Doubt started replacing excitement. The relationship survived, technically, but it wasn't the same relationship anymore. The fantasy had been interrupted by reality. Reality that came in the form of headlights, a car door, and footsteps in a driveway. The strange thing is that nobody actually got caught that night. At least not officially. Nobody confronted them. Nobody exposed them. Nobody made a scene. Yet somehow it still felt like everything had changed. Because from that moment forward, they knew the secret wasn't untouchable. It wasn't safe. It wasn't invisible. It was vulnerable. And once people realize they're vulnerable, they start making mistakes. According to the woman, that weekend was supposed to bring them closer together. Instead, it became the beginning of a very different chapter, one filled with suspicion, fear, distance, and questions neither of them could answer. Because sometimes the moment that changes everything isn't getting caught. Sometimes it's realizing how close you came, and according to the woman, the sight of those headlights in the driveway was something she never forgot. What makes this story so fascinating isn't that someone almost got caught, it's how quickly everything changed afterward. One unexpected moment, one car pulling into a driveway, one decision to come home early. And suddenly a relationship that felt exciting and untouchable became something very different. For months, secrecy had probably felt thrilling. The messages, the stolen moments, the hidden meetings. The feeling that they were getting away with something. But the closer they came to being discovered, the harder it became to ignore reality. Because secrets have a funny way of changing once real consequences start appearing. What once feels exciting can quickly become stressful. What once feels romantic can quickly become exhausting. And what once feels permanent can suddenly feel incredibly fragile. Looking back, nobody actually got exposed that night. Nobody got confronted. Nobody got dragged into a dramatic argument. But something still changed. The confidence disappeared. The certainty disappeared. And for the first time, both of them had to face the possibility that everything they had built could come crashing down at any moment. Sometimes the biggest turning points in life don't happen when disaster strikes. Sometimes they happen when disaster almost strikes. And according to the woman, that night became impossible to forget because it forced her to see the relationship differently. Not as a fantasy, not as a dream, but as something that could fall apart much faster than she ever imagined. But what do you think? Was this relationship doomed from the start? Or do you think the wife becoming suspicious was the moment everything truly began falling apart? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy relationship drama, shocking Reddit stories, unbelievable real-life situations, and stories packed with twists and emotional fallout, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.